G'day, hi and welcome. What's up, Gazoo? Can you keep your slurping to a minimum? No? Okay. Anyway, 7 strings. Okay. I have an 8 string. I started with an 8 string. Well, technically I started guitar with a 6 string 45 years ago. But anyway, that extra slurping you heard was him. See? Hey, Gazoo, you want to talk about 7 strings? You got in a fight today, didn't you? I can see the scar on the top of your head. Yeah, anyway, there's a big cat out there. Okay, the 7 string. Why do I have this guitar? Why do I need this guitar? Yes, I need this guitar. Okay, so I bought this guitar. It arrived, I bought it ordered it not last Monday, the Friday before. It went out on the Monday and it got here on the Thursday past, and today is Monday again. Okay, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, well, even before that, past couple of years, I've been really getting into like modern symphonic metal and stuff like that. Classic metal, I love my Judas Priest, I love my AC/DC, well, if you want to call AC/DC metal, but we're talking 80s, 90s standards. Love Van Halen, love Metallica, all you know all the ones. So don't want to get into debate what's metal, what's not. But I like sounds like, say, Visions of Atlantis. I think they're fantastic. I love Evoluti. I love that. Leaves Eye, all the Nuclear Blast and AMF records and Capitol records and all those. I like those metal bands. And I like the periphery sound. I love that. Like that kind of like sounds like like you got a big diesel engine with something broken inside going ka-chunk, 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 but it sounds cool anyway. Yeah, I like that guitar sound, the gent, I like that sound. I like that. I like the Slipknot sound. Again, not big fans of the some of these bands. I'm not like I like them, but I don't not crazy about them. But I couldn't get that sound, even with drop tunings. I couldn't get that ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk sound. You know what I mean? Couldn't get the bow wow. Couldn't get that that just crazy sound. I knew I had to go extended range. Plus, I wanted modern sounding. I didn't want to have my SGs trying to get that sound, because you just can't get there from here with those, and I'm not going to modify my SGs with modern pickups or anything like that, because, then I don't have my classic sounding SGs anymore, right? So I knew it was time to get into extended range stuff. Where do you start? Well, for me, at first I was like, there's no way getting an 8 string right away. I'll see if I like the 7 string. What scale length did I want? I knew I wanted the shorter scale length at first because it would be easier to play. However, here was my thinking. If I'm in standard tuning, I want a 25.5 inch scale range. Why? Because it'd be easier to play for the guitar solos and everything like that. And you still have, the extra crunch of the low B there. Ka-chunk, 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 and away, doing the degen, right? But when I want to go to like double drop A or something ridiculous like that, that 25.5 scale just might not be enough. So I had to go extended range. And if I want to sound like, the Gods of Thunder, you need that extended range, that baritone scale. And the more I listened to guitars that were doing the baritone scale thing, the Schecters and the LTDs and whatever, it was apparent to me that I wouldn't be happy unless I got something in that extended range. So I knew I was looking for an extended range guitar. Multi-scale or, multi-scale fan fret thing, or, regular. Didn't know. And then somehow I came across this guitar. And it fit all the bills. I did not want a tremolo on a 7-string guitar. Tremolos are a pain in the ass as it is. I do plan on getting another Floyd Rose guitar, and a really good one. But you gotta, living with a Floyd Rose guitar is like having a bipolar guitar. You'll love it and hate it at the same time. No offense to anybody that's bipolar. I'm just saying that's kind of the way they are. Fixed bridge is no fuss, no muss. Just play the damn thing. I knew I wanted two octave range if I could get it. And I figured, well, what would be the best 7-string on the market? So I went and I tried a few in the music stores. I've tried a few gems. I've tried quite a few Ibanez's. The only Ibanez that played well for me under $1,000 was the, it's not a Geo model. It was just one up from the Geo model. And it was like all natural Natoya body, whatever. And the tension wasn't bad on it. It wasn't like this. This is right. Where you have heavy gauge strings, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. You know what I mean? Like you can bend those strings like you're bending 9 gauge, and that's again 10 to 62. So there was, it just seemed like the guitar that I kept coming back to that fit the needs. And then of course the way Mark Holcomb actually demonstrates his guitars, it was like the clarity was there for the clean stuff. It wasn't just an always rip your face off kind of guitar. This guitar does clean incredibly well. Then of course you take the aesthetics and, you know, on top of everything, it's the guitar. It's the only guitar in its price range that really seemed to make that kind of sense. Problem is I couldn't afford it at the time, so I went with the 8-string, and I'm still learning the 8-string, and I will have an 8-string probably till the day I die. But I'm also learning things of the limitations of the 8-string. So in other words, I started out wanting a 7-string. Talked myself into an 8-string because I'm like, well, why not? And I'm glad I did. But then I'm like, I'm learning the limitations of the 8-string, which I'm not sure, guys, but until I try a fan fret 8-string, I haven't tried a lot of 8-strings. Maybe tension-wise, the furthest you can really go with a guitar is probably 7 strings. The 8s and 9s are probably going to be flub masters, and you know, you can get definition sound out of this B every fret. It doesn't sound like it's just a drone sitting there. Where on my 8-string, the B pops out anywhere I play it. It still has that. It doesn't have the aggression quite. Maybe it could be a string tension issue that I don't have it quite set up right on the other guitar. I'll play around with it. We'll see. It'll take me months to know, I'm sure. But this guitar is right away. Every fret on this guitar, no matter what string, it doesn't sound like you just got a muddy drone there. It sounds like a guitar. It sounds like you got a instrument that you can it doesn't sound like you're playing a bass here. It sounds like you're playing a really heavy, tight sounding guitar, which is freaking awesome. And yeah, so the 7-string seems to have the tension issue thing sorted out. So, but on the other 7 strings that I tried, they weren't quite doing it for me. So there are very few of them that seem to have the 20-degree fretboard radius. It's probably going to become a lot more common. I'm not saying these are the only guys that do it, but like the compound radius, I don't think works well with the 7 strings and 8 strings as well. I think you're better off just to have one. You know, if it's 20 degrees, it's 20 degrees radius, and that's basically, the same round here and same round up here. So that said, that comes with its playing technique differences, getting your fingers to work flat against the board. Now, that said, I've been playing this guitar for about 4 days now, since Thursday when I got it, and it's now Monday, so that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days. And within a week, I feel like I've been playing this guitar for about 5 years. That's how well it plays. You just can't, you can't beat that. And I've never picked up a 7-string that, again, I'm not saying they don't exist, but what I'm saying is I've never picked up a 7-string that plays like this. Like, this is right. I understand why Mark Holcomb, when you see his enthusiasm for his guitar, and it's okay, yeah, the guy's making money off it, he's selling it to you, whatever, but I get it. I get it. I wouldn't, if I ever had the opportunity to play and jam with the guy and I was on stage in public, I would still use his guitar. I would have no shame whatsoever. Why? Because this is great. Now, mind you, talk to me a year later. How do you like the guitar? Oh, the frets are falling off. Wiring's all crap. Tuners won't hold tuning. Maybe that'll happen. Or I say this thing has been a dreadnought, a juggernaut, and it just holds up. And that's what he did with his guitars. Is he took them out on the road, beats the shit out of them, leaves his core models at home, which makes a lot of sense. So this is kind of like a working man's guitar, but the ultimate refinement of a working man's guitar. I'm not saying you can't get a better 7-string out there, but if you're going to be spending this kind of money, whether you're in Canada, the United States, Europe, wherever, if you get a chance to play one of these, play it twice. And if you get a chance to buy one, buy two. Why? Because you're going to need one for the tunings, one for standard tuning, one for the other. And I do plan on buying the newer model when it comes out at some point, because I like it that well. Like, it does what I need it to do. Now, that said, haven't played it live yet. I've recorded with it. Yes, you will hear some of those recordings. Records beautifully, clear pickups. You can watch my other videos on it. But the 7-string, I think, is guys. It's I think I'm a 7-string player. Like like the 8's always going to be there for me, but the 8 is like having the supermodel that farts in bed really bad. She's gorgeous. She does everything they want, but it's just the freaking, you know what I mean? The 7-string doesn't do that. The 7-string does what it's supposed to do the way it's supposed to do it. But not all 7-strings are equal. Most of the 7-strings, I find the tension's way off on them. But again, that could be a string, getting the proper string on there or whatever. I don't know. I'll have to experiment with it. But this guitar is right. So again, I don't... Like, I'm not endorsed by this. I'm not trying to sell you it. I'm just telling you this is why I have this guitar. And the thing is rather than buying 5 or 6 cheap guitars, saying, okay, I'll get this one. I'll get the next one's a little better. I just jump right